Good morning, guys. I thought this morning I would do something more of a vlog style video. I often do the sort of head to camera talking, which is kind of what I'm doing now, but I thought today I'd do something just a little bit different. I've been retired now for nearly 2 months and I haven't really got into any kind of rhythm, and I don't know if that's normal, but the first month was January, so we'd just come out of Christmas, and obviously January is always a bit of a strange month anyway, isn't it? But also we went away in our camper van a couple of times in January, so for 2 full weeks I was away on holiday. And then the day we got back, or rather the day after we got back, we had my mum-in-law come and stay with us for a month, and she's 93, quite immobile, and quite honestly my life has kind of been on hold for the last few weeks because I can't really go out and do anything. She tends to sleep quite late in the day, and Mark's still working, so he's off out and about, and I've been kind of stuck at home really. So I've had to come into our local town to get an application signed off by a solicitor. I'm applying for my Irish citizenship, so I've had to come and get it officially signed off so that I can get the application sent off to become an Irish citizen. I'm also just about to go and meet a friend for a coffee, and it's the first time I've sort of met up with anybody just for relaxing coffees really since I retired. And I think in my mind I thought retirement was going to be lots of doing that, and it hasn't really panned out that way. And to be honest, I felt a little bit like a caged animal for the last few weeks because I haven't had the ability to just go out and do stuff or see people. So I'm going to really make the most of today and enjoy that little bit of time to, I guess, just see what retirement might actually look like on a normal day. And therein lies the problem, because I don't know what normal days are going to look like. And I don't know whether maybe what I should have done was sit down and think about what my perfect retirement day would look like. Because there is also the fact that I have ADHD. And I've realised in this last 3 weeks, when I've not been able to do much, that without any stimulus, I can very easily go down the rabbit hole of just vegging out. I mean, there have been times in the last few weeks when I've literally not got dressed for 2 or 3 days on the trot because I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been going anywhere. That's not healthy, really. Well, it's not healthy for anybody, is it? But it's certainly not healthy for me, because I can easily go down that demotivated rabbit hole into kind of just not really doing anything. And because I have a very reward and interest driven brain, if something doesn't feel interesting, I find it very hard to motivate to do things. And then that leads to a bit of a cycle of the less you do, the less you want to do, the more lethargic you feel, and it's this sort of downward spiral. And then that leads to a sense of I've not achieved anything. I feel guilty and angry at myself for not achieving anything. So I think I need to really figure out some sort of structure. It's that paradox again of ADHD where we hate structure but we need it. We hate deadlines but we need them. And when I retired, when I stopped working, one of the things I really wanted to not have anymore were deadlines, and I don't want to say responsibilities, that's the wrong word. What's the word I'm trying to say here? Commitments. I wanted to get away from feeling tied to those commitments, because that's the thing that was kind of quite stressful while I was running my business. So I feel like I've lost that, and I'm happy to have let go of it, but I still need it. So I need to figure out how that balance is going to work. I also realised that I need to do something. I need to be finding things that are going to keep my brain stimulated. So I've been thinking about maybe giving myself little monthly challenges, things that maybe put me out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I've been looking at things like the U3A, is it University of the Third Age, and seeing some of the things that they have to offer. I've never been one for really being part of clubs or groups and things like that. I always felt like a bit of an outsider. But I'm wondering if actually I need to join something like U3A and start doing some of the activities that they offer. I know they do things like walks and trips, and they do educational stuff. And I do, I like to keep my brain active because, as I said earlier, if I don't, I am very easily prone to falling into a bit of a black hole. So that the U3A was one thing I was looking at, and a couple of other things. I love a spa day, but I've always in the past gone with somebody, and I actually quite like my own company. So I'm thinking maybe one day I might just book a spa day and go and have a spa day somewhere just on my own, just to chill. And the other thing I was thinking I might do, get a train to a city, possibly York, or maybe even back to my hometown of Newcastle, and just spend the few hours on the train as an opportunity to read a book, to relax and just switch off, and then go and have a look around a city on my own. But things I can do on my own that are challenging for me. I also want to make sure that I don't lose contact with my friends, because again, with ADHD, I know that I'm not very good at keeping in touch with people. And it's not because I don't care about them. It's just because I don't think about it. It's like out of sight, out of mind, which sounds awful, I know. But I think I've got to make an intentional, concerted effort to maintain contact with people. Now, there is a slight problem in that many of my friends are still working. So actually getting together in the week is possibly difficult. But I sat the other day and I just went through my WhatsApp and I messaged a few people just to say, hi, thinking about you, would love a catch up if you've got any time. Because I think if I don't do that intentionally, or if I wait for other people to contact me, I'm out of sight, out of mind to them too. And they've got busy lives and time will go by. So I think it's really important that I maintain those connections and those friendships. Hence why I messaged my friend Mandy last night and said, look, I'm coming across into town. I've got to see the solicitor. Are you free for a coffee? And ideally she is. And I think that's going to be really important. So anyway, I am going to we're at a garden centre, and I'm about 40 minutes early, so I'm going to go and do some mooching and do the very best I can not to get sucked into buying stuff I don't need, because that is another thing I'm trying to do, is trying to minimalise life and not buy so much stuff. I am prone to that. So I will talk to you in a bit. We'll go and have a look around the garden centre, shall we? Well, I did give in and bought a couple of jumpers, but they were in the sale from an outlet, so I don't feel too bad. Had a lovely catch up with my friends, spent a couple of hours sat drinking tea and nattering. It's really important, I think, that I keep these friendships going, keep them alive and don't let them fade. So I'm just going to finish mooching and then I'm going to go and collect my granddaughter from school. A really nice day, but I'm kind of struggling a little bit with a sense of guilt, because It's the weirdest thing and not something I was expecting. Let me just turn the engine off. It's getting a bit warm in here. When I was working, running my business, if I took a day out to meet a friend, have a coffee, do a bit of shopping, I didn't feel guilty about it because it didn't feel like I was wasting time. It felt like I was having a well-earned day off. But now, going out today, although I've had a really nice time, there's this feeling of guilt around I haven't earned the right to take this time as rest because I'm not resting from anything. Therefore, it's just a day where I'm wasting time. And it's the weirdest feeling. It doesn't make any rational sense. And I'm going to have to work on this because I guess I have earned the right to have a day out of, not doing anything, just chilling with a friend, mooching around the shops, even just buying a few things. Yeah, I didn't do a great job of sticking to my no-buy policy. But I bought a couple of jumpers in the sales and they were a real bargain in the sales. I love Salt Rock. I've got a real thing about the brand Salt Rock at the minute. I just love everything they do. And I know I'll wear it all because it's all kind of casual stuff that I know I'll wear in the van. Am I trying to justify this to me or to you? I'm not sure. But I still get this guilt because, yes, I've got my pension now coming in. I mean, I've had it for a few years, but that is my only income coming in at the minute. So there's a little bit that goes, oh, you shouldn't be spending on yourself. And I don't know, it's the weirdest feeling. I had a really good conversation with my friend. She's so lovely. We can talk about lots of things and I feel very comfortable sharing with her. And I felt a little bit awkward because I should be sitting here saying, I'm loving my retirement, I'm loving this. But actually I'm finding it quite difficult, if I'm honest. And I wasn't expecting to. I did not expect to feel awkward about being retired. And I don't know if it's a phase and I don't know if it will pass. I'm sure it will. Maybe I just need to give myself a little bit of time to, readjust to this new life. If you've got any suggestions, drop them in the comments because, I found it a bigger struggle today than I expected to. I expected to be sitting here vlogging going, oh, I've had a brilliant day. I love this retirement lark. It's amazing. And I actually don't feel like that. Equally, I don't feel like I want to go back to where I was before. I really like not having those deadlines and commitments. But without them, I don't know, there's this huge void that at the minute is being filled with guilt. And that is a really unhelpful thought process. It's a very unhelpful emotion. So anyway, I'm waiting for my granddaughter. I'm picking her up from school. She always lights up my life, so I'm sure whatever she's got to tell me when she gets here will cheer me up no end. But I don't know. I think I need to really think hard. Maybe I need to get back to journaling. I've been a bit remiss on my journaling lately, and also meditation. We were talking about this earlier over coffee. And actually, my friend put me on to an app I'd not heard of called Balance. I think it's Balance Meditation and Sleep. I've used Calm, I've used Headspace, I've used Insight Timer. They're all very good. But I tend to find after I've used them for a little while, I tend to get bored with that same sort of style of delivery. So it's good to rotate. I think good to rotate around different ones. So I'm going to give this new Balance app a try and see if it's different, and try and get back to being a little bit more consistent with my meditation and definitely be a bit more consistent with journaling. I've even brought my journal out with me today because I thought, well, if I get a little bit of time, I might just sit and write a few pages. In fact, I might do that now because I've got about 15 minutes to kill before Connie comes out of school. So I'll probably do that now. But yeah, not quite the day I'd expected it to be.
flat on the surface beneath you if you're able. And now, to fully settle into this posture, take a nice, deep breath.
Hello. Nice day?
Yeah.
Good. What have you been up to?
Just playing with my friends.
Good for you. So it's been a couple of days since I picked the camera up, and I've had a whole weekend to reflect on how I was feeling last week about being retired, and there's a few things that I've kind of come to realise that probably explains why I wasn't feeling too great about anything really last week. The first one is, of course, I've been stuck in the house for nearly 3 weeks, so I wasn't really getting any activity, I wasn't getting any exercise, wasn't getting any vitamin D. I know we haven't had an awful lot of sunlight, but I wasn't getting out at all. And I think I probably wasn't looking after myself as well as I should. You know, I said previously, there've been some days where I've not even bothered getting dressed because I knew I wasn't able to go out anywhere. So I've kind of started this week with a bit of a new sense of purpose. And that includes getting out a bit more, even if that means having to get up earlier in the day and go for a walk, although I haven't done that today. But I have got out again and just had lunch with a friend. I think that is going to be the really important bit. And actually, since I spoke to you last week when I met my friend Mandy, I also had lunch with another friend on Saturday. A bit like number 2 buses, aren't they? None for ages and then they all come at once. But that's making a huge difference, having that bit of interaction. But also going back to focusing on eating a better diet. One of the problems we've had with mum-in-law living with us is she likes quite traditional foods, and I've not really been cooking the foods that I would normally try and eat, which are probably more healthy foods, if I'm honest. So the diet hasn't been brilliant. Not been exercising, and I've probably been drinking more than I should, and it's all kind of added up together to make me feel less than brilliant. So, you know, with a renewed sense of purpose, I've started this week trying to get myself back on track in terms of just focusing a little bit more on living a bit healthier again, because I know I feel so much better when I do. And also being a little bit more intentional about filling my time with things that I'm going to enjoy doing. And I've also resigned myself to not allowing myself, I don't know how well I'm going to manage this, but not allowing myself to feel guilty about the fact that I'm not working anymore. One of the really good things that happened over the weekend was I finally hit the magical 4,000 watch hours on this channel. And that means that I'm now part of the YouTube partner program for AdSense. So, you know, I now can make a little bit of money from my YouTube videos. And that's given me a real sense of purpose around putting a bit more time and energy into YouTube. I love creating YouTube videos. I love the process of editing, of coming up with ideas, of putting my thoughts out on, you know, into a video. And because then I'm now I've hit that threshold, it feels like I've got even more incentive to put the time and energy into making videos. So I haven't got anything else that's detracting or distracting me from making YouTube the thing that I do. There's something lovely about knowing that there's going to be some financial reward for the time and the effort that I put into these videos, and also the fact that I really do enjoy doing them. So if you're watching this, thank you so much. Thank you, because you're helping give me a sense of purpose, and that I think is probably quite important to me. I'm starting to realise how important that is. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. So who knows, YouTube will possibly show it to more people. And if you fancy subscribing, it means you'll have more chance of YouTube showing you future videos. So hopefully you'll do that for me. I am, as I say, really grateful for it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I am going to go now, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.